This is the LEE Seven5 filter system. It's designed for small and compact cameras, interchangeable lens compacts like this one, or fixed lens compacts like this one. It also works for rangefinder cameras, digital or film. It's good for street photography, handheld, or for tripod-mounted landscape or architectural photography. The adapter rings look like this, and in size they are from 37 to 72 millimeters. Usually fit very easily to the screw thread of the lens. And the filter holder is equally very easy to fit. It's really important to emphasize that although the Seven5 system is extremely small and compact, it's a fully featured system that incorporates all of the main filters in the LEE range. The core filter of any system of this kind is the ND graduated filter. This is a 0.9 hard grad, and this is a 0.9 soft. You can probably tell the slight difference that there is in the transition, and that difference is very, very important in landscape photography. So the hard filter, for example, tends to work really well when one is photographing landscapes like the one I have on my back doorstep in the North York Moors, fairly high plateau land and rather hard and flat horizons. The soft filter can be used in woodland, but the place that I would typically use it is beside a lake or maybe at the coast, where the softer transition allows one to pull the filter further down in the holder to help to moderate that highly reflective part of the water where it's near the horizon. They fit the holder very easily. There are two grooves in the holder. And one of the beauties of this kind of system is that you can position the transition either low in the frame, in the middle, or high in the frame, which allows a lot of creative scope for composition. And they can also be turned, which is sometimes really helpful if you have an area of bright sky on one side, and that needs to be moderated more than a darker sky on the other side. And if you should occasionally happen to be in a situation where you have a very bright foreground and maybe dark above, maybe no sky, you can also turn them upside down, like this, and any angle you want. Extremely versatile. The polarizer is an important filter for any landscape photographer's system. They're great for darkening the blue in a blue sky, for reducing glare in snow or ice. They're also very good for penetrating still water, for removing the reflections in that sense, and I often use them for that. And they can also remove the glare or the reflections from waxy vegetation. The overall effect of a polarizer is to increase saturation a little, and some photographers love them for that reason. The Seven5 polarizer is oversized compared to the system in general, but that's because it prevents any risk of vignetting with the majority of lenses. So that's an important part of its design. And it fits very easily on the Seven5 holder via the 4 lugs which connect to the apertures in the polarizer, like this. And from there, you can adjust the polarizer very easily using its rotating turret, which is super smooth. And you can use up to 2 filters behind it as well. It's quite common, in my experience, to use an ND grad behind a polarizer. As a landscape photographer, one of the qualities I'm really interested in is contrasting the still elements of the landscape with that which is moving, which could be water, grass, or perhaps trees in windy conditions. But modern cameras are very sensitive and they tend to emphasize fast shutter speeds. In order to slow down the shutter, we need filters. And there's a good range of stopping filters in the 7.5 system. I've got a few examples I can show here. The Pro Glass 0.9, which is a 3-stop, and the little stopper, 6 stops, and the big stopper, 10 stops. The little stopper and the big stopper have to be applied with some care because of the length of the exposure, and they've been designed with a special back, a foam seal that helps to close the gap between the holder and the filter itself. And so it's important to position them accurately within the holder. And one of the strengths of the system is that even though we have a stopping filter in place, we can still use a graduated filter in front of it. The 7.5 System pouch is a really neat solution to carrying your filters around. It comes with a neck strap and also a belt loop. But as a landscape photographer, probably the best part of the design is this, the tripod strap, which helps to keep the bag above the ground and your filters exactly where you want them. Plenty of room for every filter you'll probably ever need, including a polarizer. So there it is, the 7.5 filter system, a fully featured professional filter system for compact cameras.